Hey viewers, you are watching Da Savera and I'm Manpreet Kaur. In a major development on the global diplomatic front, former US President Donald Trump has voiced cautious optimisms about reaching a diplomatic agreement with Iran, even as tensions between Washington and Tehran remains high. Trump said he was hopeful that Iran would make a deal with the United States but added that if a deal doesn't materialize, it will test the accuracy of a stark warning issued by Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei about the risk of a broader regional conflicts. Trump's remarks come amid a backdrop of escalating tensions between the two countries. Over the past weeks, Iran has been the focus of global attention, facing internal unrest and international pressures over its handlings of anti-government protests, and external pressures from the United States over its nuclear program. At the center of the latest flashpoint is a warning from Ayatollah Khamenei, who stated that any military actions by the United States against Iran could trigger a regional war in the Middle East. The Supreme Leader's message was delivered in a series of posts on social media, where he emphasized that while Iran does not seek conflict, it would respond decisively to aggression. Khamenei asserted that Iran would not be intimidated by talks of warships or military pressures. Responding to this, Trump told reporters at his Mar-a-Lago residence in Florida that such warnings were predictable given Khamenei's position. Of course, he is going to stay that, Trump said, according to multiple news reports, adding that the United States was deploying significant military assets, including powerful naval vessels, to the region. However, despite the missile deployments and show of force, the former president stressed that diplomacy remains a priority. He said that the United States prefers a negotiated agreements with Iran and hoped that it could be secured in the coming days. Hopefully, we will make a deal. Trump stated he also made clear that if no agreement is reached, then we will find out whether or not Khamenei's predictions of a regional war is accurate. Analysis says this stance reflects Washington's attempts to balance pressures with negotiations. The pressures of a US aircraft carrier groups near Iranian waters sends a strong message of deterrence. But the continued openness to talks points to an effort to avoid full-scale conflict, one that could have catastrophic consequences across the Middle East. In Tehran, the Supreme Leader's warning came alongside strong rhetoric about defending Iranian sovereignty and resisting foreign dominations. Khamenei's statements portrayed external pressures as part of a long-standing struggles over Iran's control of its natural resources and geopolitical position. He insisted that Iran doesn't seek war but will firmly oppose any attempts to intimidate the nation. The backdrop to these tensions also include the recent anti-government protests in Iran, which begins over economic issue and expanded into broader areas. The Iranian government's response to the protest has drawn international criticisms and contributed to rising frictions with the United States. As both sides continue to position themselves, Washington through its military pressures and Tehran through its public warnings, the world watched closely to see whether diplomacy can prevail or if the region will edge closer to the broader conflicts. Trump's comments underlines that the coming days could be crucial in determining whether negotiations succeeds and whether Khamenei's warnings prove prophetic. That's all for now. Stay tuned with us for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe our channel.